Hi, very good afternoon to you. It's Dean from maverickstar Observatory. Warm welcome. Guys, I'm over at NASA's website. Obviously you can see their avatar at the top left hand corner. Global climate change, vital signs of the planet. And just the headlines I'll read out. Flip-flop, why variations in Earth's magnetic field aren't causing today's climate change. So, they believe that there is no interchange between magnetic pole reversal and the causing of global warming or climate change, as they state there clearly in their title. This is coming from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and you would think that these guys would know everything there is to know about our climate and what causes it and what are the major contributors to the causes of climate change. And yet they say, there is nothing to do at all or see here with regards to the magnetic field of our Earth. Yet this next image I'm about to show you strangely shows something different. So we're looking at three images. On the top left is the W3 map showing temperature. Those regions where it's blue and goes into the purple, as it goes into the purple, we're talking sub-zero temperatures of about minus 30 to minus 40 degrees. And then on the bottom left, we've got in nanoteslas, ranging up to the highest, 60,000 nanoteslas over Russia, about 50,000 over Canada, and then down in Australia around about 55. And then we've got the blue region, which is the lowest magnetic intensity on our planet, and that is also commonly known as the South Atlantic anomaly. Yet they say there is nothing to do with climate and magnetism, but look at the two images that I've just showed you, temperature on the top left and magnetism on the bottom left. They're saying there is nothing linking these two together, but the images are almost identical. And we can look into this a little bit more. So let's look at where slightly it is over the northern hemisphere warmer, and that is in between Canada and Russia right now. Somewhere in the mid-Atlantic, you can see that there is a pattern almost like the Batman logo, some people have called this. And you can see in the center where the arrow is, it's a warmer region. And yet there is no magnetic intensity. If we look at the bottom left where the arrow is, there is no high region of intensity in that region. So we have confirmed sub-zero temperatures with higher magnetic environments and low magnetic environments with warmer temperatures. Again, just short of the equatorial region on the top left temperature scale, there is another arrow, and that is pointing to, on the bottom left, the lowest magnetic intensity in the range of about 25 nanoteslas or 0.25 Gauss. And yet it is one of the warmer regions. So not only is this image the same, but when we start to look into the details of the image, where the warmer parts are and the colder parts are, it starts to reveal something more than just a coincidence. And NASA say that this doesn't have an effect on our climate. That's strange. Over on the top right hand side is the World Magnetic Model, and you can see there, if it was enlarged, you would see where the epicenters are of the highest magnetic regions on our planet, which obviously the three circles of the main ones you can see, and the arrows point to the least magnetic intensities on our planet. And you can see clearly the bottom of that arrow on the top right hand corner is pointing to the magnetic South Atlantic anomaly. There is no coincidence here. NASA, you have clearly got it wrong on that. There is obviously a link between magnetism and temperature on our planet. And if obviously the magnetic regions of our planet are moving around, so will the climate. And of course we've talked about the influence of cosmic rays in our upper atmosphere, but NASA would not put that down either as one of the main contributors of climate change. Yet we know that when cosmic rays end up in jet streams, they form cloud seeding particle or platforms, and that cloud seeding platforms allow condensation to build up. So we get more water in the jet stream becomes more laden, And you can imagine the control of the wavy lines over the polar and subtropicals, both over the northern and southern hemispheres, are going to fragment because sheer mass of water in those jet streams. And of course, if we're getting interchange between polar jet streams and subtropical, any climate scientist would say to you that when these two collide together, you get these anomalies that we see: flash floods, dumps of ice, record breaking amounts. And it's just strange that NASA, one of the most important scientific organisations on our planet, have not made these links. But we have brought this to your attention here at the observatory. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on these charts. Put them down in the comments. I also find it strange that, they say that it'll be thousands of years before the pole goes through a magnetic reversal, but yet in 50 years, just look how far the magnetic North Pole has migrated. You can clearly see this won't be thousands of years before this migrates. It'll be a lot sooner. I also find it strange that they say, recently that we are in global warming, yet for the last 11 years there has been 1.8 million square kilometres of added extra Arctic ice in the northern hemisphere put there. This is a good chunk if you want to think about this in terms of size of Europe. I find it very strange that if we were in global warming, it wouldn't just mean that the global warming that they're talking about would affect one part of the planet, it would affect all of the planet, as the word and term states, global. So why is it then that the Arctic Circle is added ice in the last 11 years? Why haven't NASA came out, or any other mainstream media or any other climatologist came out and told the truth about what is happening over the northern hemisphere? Why would they not tell the general public that there is 1.8 million square kilometres of extra ice than there was 11 years ago? It's very strange. I also find it very strange that these scientists have blamed CO2 for causing climate change, yet CO2 amounts to less than 0.5% of the atmospheric gases in our atmosphere. How could something so small contribute to something so big? And when we look at the amount of CO2 that actual man puts into the atmosphere, it's even smaller. 99% of CO2 in our atmosphere comes naturally from land and oceans. So I find it very strange why they say that CO2 is responsible for global warming, when clearly it is too small and minuscule to affect anything. Less than 1% of anything wouldn't even be noticeable in any case. I find it very strange that they say, these scientists, that we are in the hottest time since 200,000 years. But if we go back just 8,200 years, you will see that we are in one of the lowest periods of temperature. Why in their 200-year charts do they not go back further to include the medieval warm period, which was much warmer than it is now? Why won't they go back to the Roman warm period, which again was much warmer, along with the Hallucine warm period? Why do they fail when they present their cases to support global warming? Why do they not even talk about the cycles of interglacial and glacial periods? When we go back to the Younger Dryas in this diagram, you can see that we was just about to merge out of a glacial period, a cycle which lasts 100,000 years. It's not uncommon for our planet every 100,000 years to go back into these glacial cycles and then emerge after around 90,000 years back into an interglacial. We are at the end of an interglacial period, and you can see that from this chart, and it just so happens to show what it should be showing, which is lower temperatures than what we've experienced at least in 8,200 years. I find it very strange that they do not mention this very fact. So yes, I find it very strange why they would not include in the effects of climate the geomagnetic pole reversal, but then maybe it is because there is no recorded evidence of even the last excursion which took place 12,000 years ago, let alone the completed magnetic reversal 780,000 years ago, and I find it very strange why they do not talk about the fact that we are 500,000 years overdue a completed magnetic reversal. It is very strange that they don't talk about this, because if we just look not too far away from our own Earth, we will find a planet well known by everyone, Mars. It once had a magnetic reversal. It once, had a magnetosphere and magnetic dipoles, and it stopped having those a long time ago. Well, some would say 500,000 years is a long time. Have we seen the solidification taking place slowly within our core, and that is why the magnetic poles don't reverse like they used to every 350,000 years? We just don't know. We don't know what took place then, and we don't know what took place 12,000 years ago during the last excursion, and that is why it is very important to study this anomaly, because it's a very rare anomaly. And if they say, there is no correlation between magnetism and climate, I say you're wrong, because the charts which we presented at the beginning of this video shows otherwise quite clearly, and for more than one reason. It's not just the fact that the picture looks the same, it's when you look at the information within the picture, it shows that point on point there is more than a coincidence, and for that fact it must be right, especially if we just rely on one thing, Occam's razor. Guys, that's why people, albeit small amounts, support what we do here, because we show something completely different to what mainstream is showing. If you want to get behind an observatory which is looking a little bit more than just what is being put out there in the regurgitated press and organisations, then it might be well worth you participating in supporting an observatory that is looking beyond the quid pro quo and commonly stated reasons for climate change. There is a link down there if you want to help support us. I sincerely and hopefully hope that you do, and we'll be with you in the coming days with the latest anomalies that are taking place on our planet. I will say what I usually do. Link down there, guys. You take care of your loved ones as always. Bye for now.